Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Hilary and today I will be going over my March TBR. Before I go over my March TBR, I do want to say a couple of words about my favorite TBR. I have read up to this moment 13 books, and the last book I still have left to finish, and that is The Light of All That Falls by James Iddington, the third book of Genius trilogy, and I'm really excited about it. I have about 250 pages still left to read and a little bit over 1 day to go. So I may finish it in February, I may finish it in the first day of March. For the future, I'm not sure 100% will I continue to do my TBRs this way or make it a little bit change. But for April, I do want to read a little bit more loosely without the fixed TBR because it's my birthday month. I do want to reread a couple of books or maybe a series and just a little bit enjoy what I'm reading. So we'll see what happens. I'm not even certain myself, but we can go to my March TBR. And the first book, as you can see, is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I was supposed to read this. This was on my February TBR, and I didn't even start this book. And I don't mind, but I will try to get to this March, hopefully. This is the Poppy War book 2, and this series is Asian inspired, based on the actual Sino-Japanese Second War, if I'm 100% correct. This is about a character named Rin that doesn't want to stay and be married to an older dude, and what she does is study really hard to get to a very exclusive military academy, and she gets there. However, sadly, she doesn't get to be there for very long because the war is breaking through, and it is supposed to be a very horrific book series, especially the first book. But yeah, I'm excited to see where the series is going off. Previously, I have read the first book twice, and the first time I read it, I didn't manage to pick up the second book, so I do definitely want to pick up it in March, so I wouldn't have too long of a break between the first and second book, so I would still remember everything. Honestly, I have absolutely no idea what is happening in the book 2. For the rest of the books, I don't have any of them physically, so the next book on my TBR list is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and this is the same author that produced The Martian, and that is also on my list. And this book is the one that the subscribers recommended. Since I didn't get any comments, I did ask a couple of my friends, and they recommended this standalone book for me to read, and I'm kind of excited. I don't read a lot of science fiction, so it will be interesting. I have seen the movie The Martian, but as I said, I haven't read the book. I do know that the Project Hail Mary is about one person in a spaceship, I think, and somehow all the humanity's survival is dependent on him. So, don't know anything else, and I am somewhat excited to read it. As I said before, I plan to read The Martian first, but we can go in for Project Hail Mary, and as far as I know, everybody who has read that book, this book, has really loved it. The second book on my list is for the Buzzword Reading Challenge by Books and Lala, and that is Location. And for that I picked Bride of the Sea by Emma Hamm. This is the third book in this series. I have read previously the book 1, 2, and surprisingly 4. So I started this series with book 4. I really loved it. These are all fairy tale retellings, and this was about a crow and a fae. Don't remember it a lot. I read it a couple of years ago, and then most of the books in the series aren't connected. They are just taking place in the same general world. And then I went back to the start of the series and read the first 2 books. The first 2 books are connected. They follow the same characters, but the rest of the books, as far as I know, are all standalones in the same world. The first 2 books are retellings of Beauty and the Beast, where we have the so-called Beauty that is healer of human origin, and there is a deal that she makes because there is a plague going around and she's trying to save her family, and I think she lives in somewhat of a brothel if I'm not mixing some books together. So she goes to Feyland and she had to do something for Fate that lives there, that has a curse put on himself, that he looks like a beast, and I think his brother is trying to kill everybody. That's as far as I know, and what I know about this book, the third book, is that it should be retelling of The Little Mermaid, if I'm 100% correct, but that's about all I know. The next book is for my friends at Reading Challenge, and that is to read a fairy tale retelling. And right now I'm figuring out I could have picked the same book as the previous prompt, because I don't mind if they overlap, but I didn't, and I picked a Spindle Splinter by Alex E. Harrow, and that is the Sleeping Beauty Briar Rose retelling. As far as I know, it should be a really short story. I know not everybody has liked it, and what I know is that our main character has a special condition or a disease, that none of those who have that disease live very long, and her friend is making her the ultimate Sleeping Beauty experience. However, when she pricks her fingers, something happens to her, and she, I think, is transported into a really weird and dark world. But that's about it, and I can already tell you, for in March, my special reading challenge or vlog that I'm doing, themed reading vlog, will be Sleeping Beauty / Briar Rose retellings. I have a couple of books in that list. 3 of them are 470 pages almost, so it's quite a huge addition to my TBR. We'll see if I manage to read all of them, but I'm really excited about most of them. We'll see, but I can also add that short one so in there. And last book that is on my TBR is Flames of Chaos by Amelia Hutchins, and this is the first book in the Legacy of the Nine Realms series. So I have read from Amelia Hutchins the Fae Chronicles before, that I mostly enjoy, although it got a tiny bit weird at the end. But I also love how the world was built and all the magical and everything else that was there. I'm not saying it's a very, very good one. It is usually, let's call it airborne, but I don't know a lot about this series. I picked it randomly from my TBR, and I honestly didn't even connect it that the author is the same between those two series. What I know about this is that there is a princess of a realm that somehow wasn't in her kingdom. She is looking for her 2 sisters while there is war brewing, and when she gets back to her home, she finds that somebody else has taken over the kingdom, and I'm guessing the new king, and she's gonna, be the ultimate romance. I'm not sure. I think she's the witch, but as I said before, I have no idea. I somehow at some point found that this series should be interesting, so I'm mostly going in quite blind as for most of my books. So this is almost it for March. There is, however, one more book I do want to read, and that is Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I am participating in the Aurelium reading thingish G from Book Roast is doing. I did participate in the main readathon in August or September, whatever that. I think it was in September. I did everything I needed to do for that. I'll do a special video, I think, about that, maybe in the reading vlog, that she is doing a new readathon for March, a week-long readathon. But for the character creation, I have still one book left to read, and it is Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I'm not sure, I can't even remember right now for what prompt it was about, but I have still left this to read. And for my character for the readathon in March, that is taking place in the 14th to the 20th of March, my character is in the Mind Walker group, and for my weapon I made choice of dagger, that means standalone, and for that I'm reading the Project Hail Mary. And for the legacy I have Feywild, and that means reading a horror, and for that I will be reading nothing but Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw, I think, I'm not sure, sorry for butchering that name, but I know nothing about that except it is a horror story about Japanese folk tales. and should have a lot of twists. I do know it's really short, and I love that about it, and also not everybody has loved it, so we'll see how that goes. There's also another readathon reading thing going on in that week, and that is the Can Finish Your Book series, something by Steph. I'll put here a picture or something about that right name of that readathon. Sadly, I'm already reading quite a lot in March, so I'm not sure I managed to finish, especially since that same week is the Aurelian reading thingy, and for that I'm already reading a standalone that is quite huge and another book, so I don't think I will be managing to participate sadly in there. If I have time, I'll try to find something to finish a book series. Additionally, I have a couple of more books here that I would really like to read before doing the haul for winter season. These are a couple of Fairy Loot and Illumigrate books that I haven't read and are quite new. So we have The Ivory Key by Akshaya Raman. We have Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. We have A Marvelous Light by Freya Marschke. And then this Woven Kingdom by Dare Maffei. But I'm pretty sure I won't have time to read them. But we will see. I would like to read these, but yes, as I said before, I'm not blaming myself in that. The TBR is quite huge already. As before I mentioned, I have the Sleeping Beauty retelling books that are quite big. So again, my March TBR is awful. But this is about it for today. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and bye!